Today is 707 day that I'm here challenge to learn. I'm learning. I hope this will support your dreams, your goals, allow you to become the person that you want to become. Yesterday, I was sharing about healthy communication in family and what you need to do to really build that healthy communication, because it's important to grow that family unit. And it's very important to understand what is healthy communication and what is not healthy communication. Because when you do not understand what's healthy, what's unhealthy, you allow unhealthy relationships to come in your life. You allow unhealthy communication ways to come into your life. But when you're aware what is good and what is wrong, you're able to say, this is I'm not able to tolerate. So increases your understanding what you're able to tolerate, what is not. So you're able to be much better in building boundaries. So today we'll share 10 things that is represents unhealthy relationships. That means when you have those 10 things, that means that you're able to really work something out that those things doesn't show up in your life. Create boundaries, help people to realize that it's not healthy. Or maybe if maybe you'll find out that you are doing one of those 10 things, and maybe you are able to start working towards yourself, improve yourself, that you stop doing things that is unhealthy in your family, unhealthy in your friends and everywhere around you, because it's very, very important. Family unit is supposed to be one of the most important units in the life, and communication in the family is supposed to be essential. For some reason, I know that in family, people have a tendency to reduce their standards. That's supposed to be opposite. We're supposed to give our best to our family and to others what is left, not vice versa. So let's get started. So number one is that shows that unhealthy relationships, unhealthy communication in family is yelling and shouting. I still never understand. I do not understand why you're supposed to yell and shout. You're able to sit down and have a conversation. So yelling and shouting, I will probably never understand. I know something is hard. I know it's hard to not yell, not shout. It seems that the other person will not understand if you will not shout. You'll not understand the importance if you not shout. But I truly believe that when you're able to communicate and share exactly why it's so important, and share your feelings and emotions, and communicate in a clear, concise way, you don't need to shout. You don't need to yell. Everything could be done in really calm manner, either sitting at a table, having a cup and hot tea or coffee or any drink, and really have a conversation. I truly believe this is much better and much more healthy than really yelling and shouting. Number two is criticism and blame. Criticism and blame. So it means, like, if you feel that someone is criticizing a lot and blaming for you about something that you didn't do, or maybe there was 10% of your fault or someone else 90%, but it seems that you 100% is fault, that means that there is something wrong in communication. And that means what we're able to do when someone is criticizing us, when someone is blaming us, or what you're able to do when you have a tendency to criticize, to blame, you're able to work on yourself. But what you're supposed to do when someone in your family is criticizing you and blaming you, what are you supposed to do? That's an interesting question, because every single situation is different. Sometimes you will need to walk away. Sometimes you will need to walk away and then not allowing other person to criticize you. Because if you shared, but now you need to share openly that this is hurting me. I really don't want to spend time with you because you hurt my feelings. That means that by criticizing me, it reduces my confidence, it reduces my self-esteem, and I don't want to surround myself with people who are hurting me. And if they don't listen to what you're saying, sometimes it's better just to walk away and reduce the time that you spend. And really find a place that you're able to increase your confidence, increase your self-esteem, reading books, attending seminars, choose your family that really allows you to increase your confidence rather than decrease. Number three is stonewalling. So that means that a lot of times people have communication issues because they just don't want to communicate with the other person, and they just ignore altogether. Neither the communication, neither physical test, nothing, just stonewall. No emotions at all. And that is, it shows that communication level is very, very low. Stonewalling probably is one of the lowest communications thing, because that means that you do not allow other person to share. You don't express yourself. And stonewalling, I know that if you are that person who stonewalls, that means that you need to be aware of it and start changing it. Because stonewalling and really being away from other people and really ignoring other people for altogether is one of the worst things to do in communication, especially in the family. As I said, family is supposed to be most important communication, and probably you could never stonewall someone else, but now you stonewall your family. So it's very, very important to understand that we need to change that and not allow other people to stonewall. You can build boundaries. When you have very strong boundaries, people follow those boundaries. But you need to be very assertive when you share those boundaries. And if they don't follow the boundaries, you just need to walk away. I truly believe that sometimes it's the best way to walk away to understand whether you're losing as well. Number 4 is manipulation. Of course, the manipulation is unhealthy communication. So if someone is trying to manipulate to get the best out for them, of course that is not healthy. We need to understand that even though that we have family, some family members still manipulate other people for their own benefit. So we always need to ask, like, okay, what is the reason? When you are trying to get out of your family, do you want that for your own reasons or for their reasons as well? Because a lot of times we'll figure out by intention. Sometimes we want to get it to really the best for their people. But what is the intention? Is the intention for us or for other people? If that intention is for them, for sure for them, that could potentially be influence and really adding value. But if that is for your reasons, because a lot of times people want their family members to do specific things because it doesn't look good for other people. And now you want your brothers, sisters, mother, sons, kids, that they're supposed to pursue something that you want them to pursue, rather than allowing them. And people use manipulation techniques to do that. For example, I have heard a lot of times that parents say that if you do not study in college, then move out of my place because I don't want anyone who doesn't study. And that is manipulation. And of course, that means that it's an unhealthy communication in family. Number 5 is avoidance. That means that when there is some kind of conflict, some kind of problem, some kind of issue that family needs to deal with, how do you deal with those situations? Do you avoid that communication? Do you avoid that conflict? Do you avoid that problem? Do you avoid that issue? Or really tackle that together as collaborative, as a family unit? Because avoidance is one of the things that people keep the same problem, the same conflict for years, for decades, because they are living in that avoidance state. It's very, very important to understand that avoidance is an unhealthy way of communication. Number 6 is sarcasm and mockery. I do not believe that there is supposed to be any sarcasm or any mockery in family units or any in between. The sarcasm and mockery is not at all. There's not supposed to be sarcasm and mockery at all anywhere in between. And especially in family. Family unit is supposed to be the place that you come back and you have that peace. That you come back and you have that place to recover, to recharge. And now you come back home and you are mocked you, or people are put sarcasm on you. Of course, that will not be a safe place. That's not a home supposed to be a safe place. So sarcasm and mockery is not the place for family, and that is unhealthy communication. Number 7 is gaslighting. Gaslighting. That means people are really tricking other people with different ways of communication. And gaslighting is not, again, it's the same as our sarcasm and mockery. Gaslighting is not supposed to be in any communication, especially in family communication. So gaslighting is very unhealthy for family communication. Number 8 is silent treatment. Silent treatment. So have you ever experienced silent treatment? Or maybe you used silent treatment to show that how you disappointed for other people, how you disappointed someone didn't act the way that you wanted. This is very unhealthy communication. That means there's supposed to be other ways to show how important for you the things that you are treating this way. And if someone is treating you silently, you're able to communicate as well and share how it impacts you, how it hurts you. And might be that someone is manipulating it away. So sometimes, again, it's very important to understand that if you're not able to share your feelings and another person not accepting your feelings, sometimes the best way is just to walk away. Because the most important part is to really share your feelings, share how you feel, and if someone is not accepting that, walking away. Number 9 is triangulation. Triangulation is that you include other people to communicate. That means some other person starts to communicate in regards of you, or other person is communicating in regards of other person. So that means include other person to communicate to each other. That is the worst thing when you're not able to communicate to each other. Now you need to bring some third person and share. And that is such a huge miscommunication because he will never communicate exactly how you feel. He will not communicate exactly what you want to say. So triangulation is one of the worst things to do to communicate because now it's a broken phone that you share what you want to say to one person that transfers and it just back and forth. It never work. You always need to communicate each other. The triangulation will never help to improve communication. Only builds the gap between people. Number 10 is verbal abuse. That's the worst thing because there's 100% number one thing is that when you understand that there's verbal abuse, there's unhealthy communication immediately right away. It's easy to understand. And we need to walk away. Of course, number one, share how you feel, share the emotions, and if other person is not able to address your emotions and not address your feelings, sometimes you just need to walk away. Walk away it's important to walk away to build yourself up. Sometimes not to walk away forever. Sometimes just walk away and build yourself up. Then when you come back, all the things that people used to do to potentially hurt you, now it doesn't hurt you anymore because you are bigger, stronger, faster. Because unhealthy communication in the family is not beneficial, neither for you, neither for the family. Sometimes walking away could help for you and for the family to really build yourself up, to understand, being aware, because walking away sometimes is not the worst thing, because the worst thing could be stay in that position because it could reduce the growth for the family unit, for you, and all together. That means it will be a huge tension. So that means that when you have unhealthy relationships, it's very important to start building boundaries, healthy boundaries, to understand that you need to share, allow other people to share. And when there is no sharing and there's no understanding, no one is able to hear each other, I truly believe sometimes it's best to just walk away. And after, when you come back stronger and faster, you're able to come back and build that relationship back from scratch or back from zero. And it's a lot of times I find that people are able to build even stronger relationships than they could ever if they stay in that relationship altogether. So never commit to a relationship and never really stay in a relationship that is unhealthy. Communication is very important. If number one thing, communication not in place, sometimes we just really need to work very hard to fix it, and if you're not able to fix it in a very short period of time, and maybe in the long term, and again, most important part, we need to understand that if both sides are committed to improve communication, it will always work. If there's only one side, most likely will not work. So we need to do something to change that. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.